So, this is a little project of ours. We have been hounded by our children for a recipe book.
For a very long time.
So instead, we are going to make a series of videos of their favorite dishes, and we will go from there.
Today, we are making Daddy's famous grilled pork chops with my rice and beans. And the best thing to say about cooking is that there really isn't a recipe. Do what feels good. Play with it. Practice. No recipe is going to be perfect. And every recipe in this family is different.
Every single time.
Enjoy.
Hello. So we are at the beginning stages of pork chops and rice and beans. So I am preparing the pork chops so that they marinate for a little time prior to. First, I'm going to dry rub them with fresh cracked pepper, all right, some salt, onion powder, garlic powder. Oh, this is cumin. Sorry, cumin. It's very powdery, so it takes a while to come out. Garlic powder. You can add other things. Mom likes adding red hot pepper flakes. That gives it a little bit of a zing. I'll do it occasionally. I give Mom grief about it, but that's okay. It's what I do. So then I take it and I give that a little bit of rub. And I try to pack them in so there's not a lot of air or a lot of pan space between so that I can use less marinade. So, a quick wash of the hands, and then we start the marinade. Typically I pre-mix it in a little mixing bowl. All I do is, it's a base of balsamic vinegar. Measurements, not really a thing. Especially because we're out of balsamic vinegar, but that's okay. You know, we'll fill it in. A little bit of hot sauce. Since I don't have a whole lot of balsamic, I'm not going to put a whole lot of hot sauce in there. And then, forgive, we have a brand new container of Worcestershire. There we go. Just a couple of healthy squares of that. Now, something I have been adding to thicken it up, forgive me while I duck into the refrigerator, is a little bit of ketchup. It kind of brightens it up as well as thickens it up. And then grab a fork, grab a different fork, screw this up. Now my steak marinade is just the same 3 ingredients in slightly different proportions but without the ketchup. And I pour it over. Hopefully I got good decent coverage. Should look something like that. Juice will go all over the place. Cover it up. And you can let that sit for preferably a good hour. If you can, longer. But after an hour, you should have enough flavor. Alright, so this is the mise en place, or the prep work that Mom's going to need for her beans. So it'll be a potato, a yellow onion, and 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. I just do the whole bulb because it's me. And as far as the potato, you just want rough kind of chunks. Typically I just go through, make that, and then I'll just kind of quarter those. If it's kind of a thick slice, sometimes I'll third them because you don't want them too big. You want them I guess about that size. So, about, I guess, I mean, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, roughly. So that's the potato. Then the onion. Everyone's got different techniques on how to cut an onion, but my technique is however gets it done as quickly as humanly possible, so I don't cry like a 3-year-old with a skinned knee. Alright. So, get my onion, dry cake, cut the ends off, split it, take that top peel off, and after I get that off, then I'll cut her in slices. Lay down the slice, watching my thumbs. Alright, so, as I said, after the stripes, then to keep it kind of safe, you curl your fingers like that, and the thumb stays behind them, right there, so that your front knuckles act as a guide, and you're not losing digits. Garlic, a bulb, take it, crush it, get the cloves out. Now, what I do is when I do these chops, I also save the garlic skins or any garlic cuttings, as well as onion skins in particular. And I put them in a Ziploc bag, put those in the freezer, so that when you want to make any kind of either veggie broth or a chicken broth or a beef broth, we'll get the leftover bones of whichever, or no bones for veggie, boil it in our stock pot and make a broth. If we pan a little bit to my left, you'll see this is our cutting bag. I take all the things and peels and onions that get left over, put them right in that bag, and that ends up being a wonderful little broth.
So I'm going to start off with rice. Rice is very simple. First thing you're going to use is a caldero. Alright, with this, the way you make rice is you need to think of it as to how many people you're feeding. Per person, it is a 1/2 cup of rice per person and 1 cup of water. I'm serving 4 people tonight, so I'm using 4 cups of water. Water goes in the pot. Along with that, using a little bit of salt and some vegetable oil so that it does not stick together. Water is going to go on high. You need to have it boiling. I'm going to move on to my beans while my water is getting ready to boil. Turn this on to high, and I'm going to add a bit of vegetable oil to the bottom of the pan. Now at this point, it depends upon who you're cooking for. If you are cooking for a vegetarian, you'll have to follow my instructions. If not, you could also add meat at this point, whether it be pork chops, a little bit of pork meat, some pepperoni, some salchichas, some hot dogs even, whatever you have on hand. If you want to add to it, you can. To this, we are going to add our garlic, which you're going to bring over to me. Thank you. Thank you, dear. And just get that going. I'm not looking to caramelize this, though my husband does.
I toast the garlic, sue me.
Slightly burnt. I until I can start smelling it. When I smell the garlic, I know it's ready for the next step. And if you would please bring over, as you can see there, looking pretty sexy. And I can now smell it. So if you please bring over my onion for me. Love that sound. Potato.
Potato down! Potato down!
To this, I'm going to add 1 packet of savon.
First of all, it's a trademark violation.
So now everything's pretty and orange. Would you grab over my papers, please? Next in is the potato. Thank you, dear. Now on another day, I will teach you how to make culantro homemade, but for now I'm adding 1 cubito. Did you pop the rest of those in the freezer for me? English mother. 1 cube.
Of a culantro-based mixture called precao.
A cubito of culantro.
Culantro's the plant.
Whatever. Anywho.
We haven't even started drinking yet.
Gonna add in my sofrito. That is a tomato-based product. And stir it all up. Turn down my heat just a little bit because it's sizzling a little bit too much. I am going to add in some adobo. But if you don't have any, then go ahead and use some garlic powder, some onion powder, oregano, and some salt and pepper, and you can get away with it. Alright, my water is boiling for the rice, so I need to add in this bowl 2 cups of white long grain rice. 2 cups because I'm serving 4 people, and it's a ½ cup per person. Water's boiling, in it goes, and stir it at this point. You do not want to overstir your rice or else you have mushy rice. We're going to let that come up to a boil again, and it's going to suck down a lot of the water. And then when it gets down low enough, we'll actually turn it down low and put a cover on it. Alright, so to this now, we are going to add our beans. And it's just Goya pink beans, or any pink beans. It doesn't have to be Goya brand. Beans in. And I add in about a ½ a can of water, which would go a lot faster if my son was not doing laundry. There we go. Boom. And then stir it up some more. Looks angry. So angry. So angry. Alright. I'll let that bad boy start cooking, and then I'm going to put a tapa on it. I've already explained that that's what a cover is, so just for the rest of the videos, understand that's what I mean by cover. And I'm just going to let that go for a bit. Towards the end, I'm going to add my green olives, and it tastes yummy, and I'll also taste it randomly for flavor. Okay, this is just about the stage where we are going to now turn down our heat to low. We are going to give it a really good stir, making certain to scrape up the bottom. And put the cover on it. minutes.
About how long has it been? About 10 minutes, maybe?
Maybe about 10 minutes.
When Mom puts the cover on the rice, I mean, every timing is different depending on what you're cooking, but typically for pork chops, rice, and beans, when Mom turns on or covers the rice, I like to grill. Let that get heated up, and here in about 5 or so minutes, I'll be able to slap the pork chops on.
For the beans, you definitely want to stir every now and then, because if not, your beans will start sticking to the bottom. Also, taste periodically, every now and then, periodically. With that, it's not bad. It needs a little bit more adobo. And I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper to it. And stir it up again. This is also about the time when I start adding my olives. The potatoes are almost done. I tasted them off camera because I did not want you to actually see me bite and cuss when it was too hot. So for the olives, everyone is different. I like a lot of olives inside of my beans, so I'm going to add about 3 good tablespoons worth of olives. Gives a good flavor to it. A little bit of saltiness, so make certain you control your salt.
And more color.
And they're pretty. Cover them back up. It's on about medium-high, and it's going to stay that way until the potatoes are cooked through.
Grill should be up to temperature, and therefore, it's been about 5 minutes or so. After she covers the rice, I light it, and then 5 minutes later, griddle on high. Get them on there so they get a nice sear. Nice high flame. Close her up, and then I typically turn to about a medium heat on my flame so they don't cook on the outside and stay raw on the inside. With pork chops, you want an internal temperature of about 145 to 150, and then you let them rest for about 5 minutes, and the basically the resilient what's the word I'm looking for? Residual temperature will finish cooking the pork chop, and you'll have a nice tender chop.
It's starting to stick a little bit on the bottom, so at this point in time, I'm just going to turn my heat down to low and just let it finish up cooking. And put the cover back on.
So, checking the, make sure we got a good, yeah, we got some nice grill marks. Yep, making sure we pay attention to our hot spots as far as on our grill. That one was on a really good hot spot. Good deal. Now, it's a little hard on the grill, but typically now is when I take the remainder of the marinade. Not a whole lot left here, but I will pour the rest on top, just to kind of add a little bit of moisture. Typically there's more than this left, but I ran out of balsamic vinegar. Alright, once I get that on there, that's a little hard on the grill. You got to clean your grill regularly on that one. I close this and I turn it down to low, just to make sure everybody is on indirect heat. Nobody's right over a flame. And now she waits until she is cooked. Alright, so it has been a little bit, and I will be checking temps. Digital thermometer is a lot more accurate than the analog. Oh yeah, we're done. We're like 160, which is a little more than I like it done, but it ensures that we are done. Yep, 160 here. We got a 158, 159. Yep, that's right there. All right, and finally, yep, 156. We're golden olden. All right, as I said, digital thermometers are more accurate. Pull these right off. At this temperature, they don't need to rest very much because, well, they're already pretty much all done. If you pull it off at the 145 to 150, then you want to let them rest so that residual temperatures finish the cooking process. Other than that, it looks like it's close to time to eat. Pork chops are ready.
Excellent.
Okay. Set them there. There is our finished plate.